Communities are being warned to expect significant delays on the Sydney Trains networks today due to industrial action. Transport for New South Wales is warning services are running at a reduced frequency, with delays expected across most train lines today. Reporter Myles Houlbrook-Walk joins me now from Sydney. Myles, how long are the delays expected to be, and just who's going to be impacted?
Well, the impacts will be widespread, Dan, but as for how long these delays could run, they could go over the weekend and into next week. So why is this happening? Well, essentially, the Electrical Trades Union decided to cease some scheduled maintenance at Redfern and Central stations. These are both critical stations right in the heart of the Sydney CBD, and as a result, the delays are fairly widespread, as I mentioned earlier, impacting a range of train lines. Particularly concerning, perhaps, is the airport line. Now, this line obviously really important for people who are transiting to the only major airport in Sydney to travel perhaps to other parts of the country or even overseas. So commuters are being warned to plan for these disruptions. They could be disruptions of about a quarter of an hour or longer in terms of each wait time because of these reduced services. I've got to say, interestingly, while there's plenty of disclaimers around Central Station right here where I've been looking about disruptions, when I looked at the train boards, the wait times were fairly frequent, to be fair. They weren't too bad, and certainly not as bad as we have seen in other instances where there has been different protected, industrial action taken at trains across Sydney. Now, the broader context of this as well, Dan, that's worth noting is that Sydney trains have been heavily disrupted for other industrial action too, and that was from the Rail, Tram and Bus Union, who were locked in negotiations with the New South Wales Government over a separate matter. Now, they've paused their actions for 2 weeks for negotiations with the state government. However, the Electrical Trades Union negotiating for their workers have not paused their action, and as such, these delays have come forward. For what it's worth, the Electrical Trades Union say from the New South Wales Government they want to see better pay conditions, particularly compared to field workers in other parts of the country, including Queensland, where disparities can be up to 50% in wages, as well as altered conditions and ensuring that all workers within New South Wales performing these duties for Sydney Trains have minimum standards that are similar right across the industry.
Myles Houlbrook-Walk reporting from Sydney.